Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters Encounters video. Well, I thought I would do this one here while I'm wrapping up your Mysteries and Disappearances videos. This one, though, is a little treat. Instead of, let's say, it coming from the usual Reddit.com website, this one actually comes from one of the recent comments here on my channel. So I did a video a couple months back involving, or this was sometime last year, involving the world of mimics. These are those strange creatures that apparently mimic, hence the name, anybody down to the exact science. So it's almost like they're doppelgangers, but again, they're completely separate from you. They could be even more along the lines of shapeshifters. And so that video is getting some views now, and I'll include the link for it below in case you wanted to see it one more time. But this encounter comes from a user by the name of Big Hoss123, and they stated what they believe is their experience with a mimic. I was reading this information and it definitely stood out. So I thought I would share it here and then let's see what you guys and gals think. So once again, it comes from the user Big Hoss123. This has to do with the world of mimics, and here's what they stated. My experience is, let me give you a little backstory first. My house is very old in a historical town. My property touches an abandoned railroad. There is an abandoned, I think, water storage slash treatment facility that's clearly been abandoned for about 100 years. It pretty much looks like something from Chernobyl. Just the concrete and steel shell of what used to be something. So basically, you hop over my fence to the abandoned railroad and then walk down about 200 yards, and then there it is. There are two underground chambers and then a shell of a two-story building. We used to go down there quite a bit. I had a roommate at the time, and we always drank and went on these adventures. We had been down there multiple times at this point. One night, it was me, my roommate, and two other friends, and my roommate's daughter. I told him, let's go. Let's go down to the bunker. That's what we always called it. He said, okay, but let me put my daughter to bed first. Okay, I said, but about 5 minutes later, we were eager to go down there, so me and my buddy told him, we're going to go ahead and go down there. Y'all just meet us afterward after she goes to bed. And so we go down and climb down into one of the underground chambers. I think they are water units stored. It's completely sealed concrete chambers that are underground with an access port exposed above ground and a steel rebar ladder formed into the concrete side. We like going down there because the acoustics are incredible in there. You can whisper and it echoes so loud. Anyways, about 15 to 20 minutes after being down there, we started hearing these muffled noises. Now we knew that was our other two friends heading down. As the voices got closer, we knew that was their distinct voices. No question in our mind, that was them. And so the voices got louder and then walked right above us with these loud thuds as they walked across the concrete bunker we were just in. Again, no question in our mind that was them. And so distinct voices, they started giggling and making small talk exactly as we would expect. They walked past us to the two-story building. They don't know we are in the underground bunker. Let's mess with them, I said. And so I slowly climbed up the ladder to poke my head up to hear what they were doing. Dead silence. You could hear a pin drop in the middle of the woods. And so I listened for a minute or so and told my friend, something isn't right, come up here. And so we climbed up and we listened for about a minute or two. It's now pitch black, 1 a.m. No way they went in there with no flashlight and not saying anything anymore. And so I yelled out, yo, hey, and then shined my flashlight in there. Absolutely no response. Neither one of us wanted to go see if they were in there because that was 1000% not normal in any way. The hairs on the back of my neck were standing up from the moment I popped my head up from the bunker and heard only silence. And so we hurriedly made our way back to the house to find everyone asleep. The fact that we heard voices wasn't so odd. It was the fact that we heard our friends that were supposed to be coming down there, which at the time we knew, here they come, no questions, thoughts, anything. We knew that was them until we went up, and then it was silent. Now, people have distinct voices slash tones. That was their voices, but that was not them. I am unsure what we heard, but it was not natural. Any ideas what it could have been? And then that's it again. That's everything associated with the user, Big Hoss 123. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that experience here. For starters, what do you guys and gals think? Is this truly a mimic? As I was mentioning in the other video, a mimic is something that just is down 100% to whatever they are mimicking. It's a weird world. It's almost like they're doppelgangers again, but they seem to move if with their own thought, like they're completely different people. They just happen to mimic somebody right down to every single inflection. So is that something that happens here? Here you have that creepy encounter. First off, the fact that this is a water storage / treatment facility that's been abandoned, I could just totally imagine in my head how it looked like. Very large, very dark, vacant, of course, having lots of just creepy areas that even if you have a flashlight, it'll just create darkness going from one place to another because of the shadows that'll be cast. And then, of course, the echoing sound. I could just imagine all of that coming into play, where even the slightest thing will it make you just look in one direction and another, wondering if something is truly there. But now amplify it with this. Here you have something that was apparently, according to the user, 1000% mimicking exactly what those other two roommates were. The fact that those roommates were then found back at home or back at the place they were, but asleep and clearly not there within the area that this user was, that is truly shocking. Also, the fact that they were up there, and again, the user found that there was no flashlight. It was pitch black. There was no noise indicating where they came to and from. They just outright disappeared. And yet they were up there just moments before they basically just peeked their head over into that darkness and started flashing the light around. That is also very, very shocking. So something knew that they were there, something knew exactly how to mimic somebody, and then that was in turn their experience. I'll end this off with one other reminder of, I don't know if it was a mimic, I think it was more paranormal in this case, but I have heard of what this user was mentioning, and I mentioned it in some past videos too, but it's good to mention it again here. I've had a similar encounter in abandoned hospital, Yorktown. That's a hospital that was featured on Ghost Adventures. Myself and the group of inspector, we were there. And then at one point, the whole group was outside taking a break. Like they were outside in the parking lot, far away from the corner area. So in other words, I was just by myself at what used to be the area inside the hospital. When I was up and running and you would walk in, it would be the reception area. That's where I was at. I didn't know 100% if I was by myself until later on, because this is what happened next. I heard somebody that was mimicking a voice from one of my fellow teammates, and they were yelling my name out loud, like they were saying Fernando, but in a far corner. But this was towards the hospital, not outside in the parking lot. And so I remember thinking to myself, oh wow, somebody is, back over there. Let me see what they need. And so I went back over there, but then I quickly realized, wait a minute, everyone is outside. Let me double check. And so I went outside, and sure enough, everyone was out there. Then I asked if somebody was inside, and they said, no, everyone's outside. And then I just told them the experience, that literally something just mimicked the voice of XYZ teammate. And they mentioned my name specifically. And that, of course, was very, very interesting. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording at the time. I was just reviewing photographs that I just took. It's how it always happens. The best evidence always happens when you have your phone in a non-recording position. But that's the closest that I have there. But let me know what you guys think. Was this truly a mimic that the user encountered? All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.